Hi there, Cy back here from Happy Accident Studios, and today I am going to be doing a little bit of an explanation and tutorial about how I organize my rubber stamps. So let's talk about that. Hold on. So if you're already a rubber stamper, then the first thing you know is that stamps come in different guises. Classic stamp sort of has a wooden backing on it and then a rubber die that's got a padding underneath, and you just ink it up and you stamp it, right? But in the recent years, they've come up with unmounted stamps to save space in your collection, and also, mostly to save space, I would say, but some of them you can also see through for better positioning. So, I've been going through my stuff lately, and I found a box of things that I kind of just stashed away. And so, I totally forgot I had them. It's kind of like getting new stuff again without having to spend money, except I've already spent money. So, I've got some of these. I've got some stamps that I bought and forgot where I put them, and I just found them today. Some of them came free from magazine covers, and I do keep those because they're just as good. So I've got a selection of stamps here. Most of them have words on them, and they're going to go into my words category that I have for my stamps. So that's one pile there for words. This is an animal. I have an animals collection, so I will put that in the animals collection. And this is a fence, and I would call that scenery, which I also have a category for. This one is cakes and cookies and sweets and things, so I call that food and drink. And because this kind of has a sewing theme, but it has animals on it, I'm going to put that in my animals section as well. So I've got words, animals, scenery, food and drink. So that's what I do. When I find a hoard of stamps that I forgot about and have not indexed, I have to put them out like that, because I have a stamp index. And this has all of my categories in it. It's got animals, it's got plants, it's got Alice in Wonderland for some reason and Celtic stamps, vintage and travel, words, scenery, backgrounds, borders, tiles and shadows, medallions, flourishes, icons, people, oriental style, food and drink, artsy, and Christmas. Those are my categories. Other people might come up with different ones. Just depends what your personal way of working is. Some people would prefer maybe to list their stamps according to the manufacturer. A lot of that can be important if you like to publish your designs in magazines. You have to tell them exactly what you've used. For a lot of people, that means keeping the original retail packaging for the stamps, which I don't tend to do, etc., etc. So, what is in my stamp index is every single stamp I own has been inked up in black and stamped on a sheet of paper. I use A5 binders for this, and they're kind of smaller than A5, and the reason that they're smaller than A5 is so that I can laminate another copy should I wish, because some of my collection is kept in binders. And this, for example, this is my food and drink binder, and in it I have this sheet. That sheet has been laminated, and the stamps are stuck on the back in exactly the way that they are pictured on the front. This makes it very easy to find things. Also, it helps if you use a tougher type of page protector in this. These are really nice. They're Eco Office I can't remember what the brand is. They're around somewhere. I'll catch it. I'll tell you if I find. But anyway, these are how I keep stamps in binders. So if you see this one laminated sheet, you'll also see in my food and drink index, I'll find it right here under food and drink, you'll find the same one, perhaps slightly different in color, but the same stamps arranged the same way. And that is how some of my stamps are stored. Now when they're not in these binders, they still end up in my index, but I've got a note on them that says where they're located. So these are in Vixie's craft kit. She has a very small, well, compared to what I've got anyway, she's got a very small box that she keeps her craft kit in, and I bought her a set of stamps and matching pattern papers and some cardstock to go with it and some ink of her own. And so she's got her own little craft kit with the cupcakes. So that is in her craft kit. I know where to find it. So all the stamps in the house, ideally, are going to be here. Right? This is a chocolate set that I got, and this is a woodware chocolate stamp set, and it is in box Stamps 1. And I have a collection of boxes and DVD cases and whatever, and so that's it. I basically just let everyone know where, let the reader know where my stamps are kept. So today, I'm going to show you my maintenance routine to put new stamps into the index and into the collection. So let's get started. The first thing I need is an ink pad, which is right here magically, and I also need some paper. Here we go. This is my stamp organizing folder. It's got everything I need in it. It's got some lamination pouches. It's got paper already cut to the right size, and it's got document wallets. So I'm all set. So I need to stamp these out into the categories in which they are. And the first thing I've got to tell you is you've got to go into your categories and see if you've got a half completed or not even half completed sheet already. Now in the case of my words collection, I do. I have this one, and before the sheet is full, I don't print it and I don't laminate it. I use an old lamination sheet that I'd previously made for something else, and I stick paper over it. So that's what I have here, and I should have a corresponding one in my index, which I'm going to go get. Words, words, words. Right, here it is. So I've got my two identical words index sheets. One is on the cling sheet already. I'm going to have to take this stamp off so it will lie flat, but it's this one. And I'm going to stick it on something shiny so that it can come off later. Right, so put them right next to each other like that. I have to work a little bit further away from myself because this is a very tight camera angle today. Okay, take everything out of the way that doesn't matter for now. Right. I also need an acrylic block for stamping. Let me just go grab that. Once a stamp is unmounted, you need something to remount it on just while you're using it. This is an acrylic block. You can see right through it, and it's the perfect material to stick your unmounted stamps onto. Unmounted stamps have cling foam on them, or they're made of a polymer that doesn't need to cling. That doesn't need the cling on it. So this is an example of a rubber stamp with a cling layer on it. and it's got this stamping cushion as well. And then this is an example of a polymer stamp. You can see what's behind it, and it is made out of something clear that will cling to the acrylic as well. So let's start with this one. Because there are words on it, I'm probably going to keep it with the words section, or I might take these apart and I put these in the plants section because they are flowers. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let's take this off. Let's get our block ready. Right, this stamp set is made up of a quote, the two flowers, and a word balloon, which can go around the quote like this. Ooh, cute. And the thing with these polymer stamps is you can sort of bend them to your will. If you want them to sort of follow a different line, you can bend them and stick them down where you've changed the positioning. Don't know if this one's willing to play ball, but I like this. Okay, so, ooh, nice noise. We will apply the ink to the word balloon and the words. And then we will put them right here at the top of the sheet, pressing it down really well. There it is. And we'll do the same again on the other sheet. There you go. That's how we do it. And I need a cleaning wipe. Just a quick cleanup. Most ink will come off with just a baby wipe. Whoop. There we go. And that's going to be put onto the index sheet later on. So I'm just going to leave it out. And I'm going to put these flowers that are left over that go in another collection. I'm going to put them to the side for now. Right. So that we can get rid of that packaging. I like to reuse the little plastic bags for things, and I can recycle the paper that's inside. So here's another word stamp. I love getting new word stamps. This one says, "We are all mature until someone pulls out the bubble wrap." I've never heard a truer word spoken, or I've never read a truer word on a rubber stamp, so I bought that because I actually make cards with bubble wrap, and I use that saying on it, and I use the bubble wrap kind of as a stamp to add a background pattern to the card, and then on the inside I attach a full unpopped sheet of bubble wrap for the recipient to enjoy. If you're at all interested in one of those, you can contact me, at happyaccidentstudios.co.uk. And, you know, we're a special lot, bubble wrap addicts, so I will, you know, if you'd like some cards made for your bubble wrap addict friends, we can arrange something. Right, that one's finished. It's going back over to wait to be put onto the index sheet. Next one. We all take different paths in life, but no matter where we go, we take a little of each other everywhere. That's so sweet. Doesn't say who wrote it, but it's nice. Right. Plastic away. These ones are weird because they're when they come on the sheet, but then the cling backing is actually not cut, so I have to cut this myself. Hi, Camilla's back. For those of you watching on YouTube, I will explain again that I am live on Twitch when this is being recorded, so you will hear me responding to live chat. And if you want to join the chat live, come to twitch.tv/HapAxStudios. Right. I'm cutting around the edge of this stamp just to trim off this cling sheet. Normally you don't have to do this, but I guess with this one you kind of do. So here we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it would be better to have a little bit more sticking around the stamp than to cut under the stamp and have less. Right. That's the excess cut off, and then I can remove it from the hard plastic backing like that. So there it is on the sheet, on the acrylic block. Ink it, stamp it, there we go. Get out the baby wipe, clean this one off. And there we go. Next. Oh, looks like the last one as well. For now, anyway. You never know what I might uncover in this place. And I've got to cut it again. I don't know if you can see it, but there's, yeah, I've got to cut this one too. I don't normally have to cut my stamps out like this. I wonder if maybe in the factory they kind of skipped a step or something. Usually the machine that cuts the stamp also cuts this. Odd. Right. Just chop it. Woo! Okay. So those little bits can go. And the hard plastic still needs to come off. Hold on. Life is art. Paint your dreams, sing your songs, enjoy the dance. Sorry, I'm picking it. I've got to have to look really closely at it. So peeling it. Right, this one. You just slap it on the block. It's not rocket science. And when you tap the ink on, it is good to have a look at it and just make sure you've got a nice even coverage before you stamp. That would be my only major tip for you, other than the organizational paradigm I have. That's supposed to look like that. Isn't that funky? It looks a bit like it's been cut and chopped and reassembled. All of it kind of does. I like it. I don't like images that are too perfect. I like things to have flaws. Because that way, if I stamp it wrong, it'll still look okay. How many stamps do I have? Camilla asks. Oh, wow. I really, I don't know. I have a lot. A lot. Because I've been doing this for nearly 20 years. And so, yeah, I have accumulated several stamps in that 20 years. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. Okay, so that's been sort of kind of cleaned. Okay. So for now, I can get rid of my block and my ink pad can be covered. And packaging can be put aside for later. Right, so now what we have in our words section is we have this one, the paper one, which goes into the index. So I'll grab my index here. Goes back to my words section of my index. And I will put this one back where I took it from, which was here. That's in the index. And then we can take the words binder, where the stamps actually live. And first we must stick the stamps onto the sheet where they look like they're supposed to go. So we stick this one. This one's supposed to be at the top. There we go. Doesn't like to stick on this. This one goes here. Remember this one? This one goes here. This one here. And this one here. But no, it's this way, I think. No, it isn't. It's that way. Make up your mind. Right. And there it is. This one isn't sticking very well. I don't really like it. It's not sticking as well as I'd like it to. So I think what you have to basically do, if it doesn't stick nicely, is you've got to get it wet and let it dry again, because it might have some kind of grease on it. There we go. And it was in this one, right? That way? That way, yeah. We put it in here because this acts like a bag as well, so if they fall off, it's okay. They'll still stay in the same place. Yeah, it fell off. Right, there it is. And I will put it back where I sort of said I'd put it, which is right around here somewhere, I guess, in the back. Just pop it in the back anyway. There we go. And there it is. Those are those stamps in this binder. And that is how I organize my stamps. I'm gonna do a YouTube outro. Thank you for watching. If you want to know anything else, please ask me. It's okay, leave a message down below. If you like the video, click like, and if you want to know more, please subscribe. You'll see probably more than you're hoping to see of my fun crafty exploits. And that is me out. But not really, I'm staying here. I'm just gonna